Rain outlines your fate. Huh?
Can't handle your drink, huh? Goldfish of doom! Time for a light show.
Witness the power of Gugwa.
Scratch that.
I'm going in.
A festive retreat. Here come the fireworks.
Body and mind. Time to act.
Let's go, let's go. Shaken and stirred. Look at you, booze hound.
Grain cutter. Everybody stand back.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fire hazard. Goldfish of doom! Think you can bully me?
Know my sword. I'm going in.
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
Believe me, you don't. Could you listen, please? This is something because we're going to videotape that I need you to sign also. Because it's the right videotaping. You want to read that?
I don't want to be videotaped.
Well, you're being videotaped. That's all part of it.
Whose number is that?
That's your home number.
Oh.
Let's find shelter quick.
Okay.
We're not going to make it.
Listen, is there anybody that you know that you think would want to kill your husband?
I'm not sure.
This is not probation.
For what?
Dahlia recounts Michael's entire criminal history in vivid detail, gives multiple reasons as to why someone would want him dead, and even names a potential suspect, who in reality had nothing to do with the situation, and was only a former business associate.
People weren't happy that he was getting on probation because it's a lot of money he's got to pay back.
Well, when you say people, who are you talking about? People that were involved with him before? Or?
A little bit of everything. This was supposed to be something, when he got off probation, it was supposed to be between us. And he went and he told, friends of his, he told, certain people, and everyone kind of talks, and he's constantly running into a lot of the guys that he was on probation with. Like, a couple of weeks ago, we ran into someone. And that was a target. I mean, and the guy comes up to us, and he's like an organized crime. It seems like a lot of the guys from Boca are starting to move up here. And we're constantly running into, you know what I mean, a lot of the guys that he knows and things like that. So a lot of money, it was $191,000 he has to pay back. So I know certain names, you know what I mean, and I know certain families, they were on the news, like the guys that all just went away.
Mm-hmm. What nationality is it? Spanish?
My mom's from Peru and my dad's from Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to tell you everything, the whole, so you guys kind of know what's going on.
I do. Okay. I want to know.
So that's what happened with that. So he didn't know how to tell everybody what was going on with everything.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know, he was shot. He was shot twice. And I want you to know all this. Do you know this? Did they tell you out there?
Not exactly. I mean, they told me he was shot. Like, I was at the gym, I got a phone call. I didn't hear my phone ring, and I called back, and they told me just to please come, that something happened at my house.
Yeah. Evidently, your husband answered the door, and they took him back upstairs. And in your bedroom...
We have cameras, though. Why would he answer the door? Because he doesn't answer for anybody he doesn't know. I mean, the only person, like his probation officer, is like the only... You know what I mean?
have no idea.
He would not answer the door. We have cameras, like at our house.
Maybe he knows this person. I didn't know you had cameras because when we got there, some of your neighbors heard the commotion.
We have cameras. The front door has cameras. The back door has cameras. But they don't record.
And they don't record.
Everybody knows that they don't. We told everybody they record, but they don't record.
Oh, God.
Because he didn't want them to make a hole in the garage.
Right now, I'm going to go out and get in touch with the officers at the scene. I want to see if the house was burglarized.
Okay.
All right, just give me 1 second.
The lead investigator returns 16 minutes later.
And you know that I advise with your rights, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The game's over with. Okay? There's no more games with you and I. Now we're going to get down to serious business. I want to know if you know this guy. Come here. Bring this guy in here. Get over here. Get over here.
They bring in the undercover cop who remains in character, acting like he's been caught, but refuses to allege Dahlia's involvement. She happily plays along.
No.
You've never seen him before?
I've never seen him before. Ever.
Do you know her? Put your head up and look at her. Put your head up.
I've never seen him.
What were you doing coming out of her house? You're not there.
Dahlia was able to use her looks to get what she wanted out of life, which of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. People do what they can to get by, which sometimes means relying on physical appearance, and in some cases they have no other option. Yet the majority of those who navigate life in this manner do so without intentionally hurting anyone. Dahlia went out of her way to not only hurt, but to literally slaughter the person whom she had tricked into falling in love with her, and for no other reason than monetary gain. She hadn't come from a broken home, nor was she a battered wife. There were no mitigating circumstances whatsoever, only the cold-blooded pursuit to get what she wanted, how she wanted, impartial to the suffering she would cause as a result. In the next moments, her karmic debt will have finally caught up, and for perhaps the first time in her adult life, neither sex appeal nor her fabricated charm will be enough to save her from the consequences of her actions.
You're going to jail today for solicitation of murder. You're under arrest. That's an undercover police officer. We filmed everything that you did, recorded everything that you did. You're going to jail for solicitation of first-degree murder of your husband.
I didn't do anything.
Did you hear what I just told you?
I heard what you said, but I didn't.
Everything, listen to me. Everything has been recorded. You were photographed in the convertible when you sat in his car in the front of CBS. What do you want to do? What do you want to do here?
I didn't do anything.
Listen to
I
me.
didn't do anything.
You're going to
I didn't
jail.
do anything, please. I didn't do anything.
Tell me you didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
You're going to jail today. As soon as I'm done, they're going to come in here and handcuff you and take you to the Palm Beach County Jail, book you for solicitation of first-degree murder on your husband. Your husband is well and alive.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
Can I see him?
No, he doesn't want to see you.
I so wanted to see him.
He doesn't want to see you.
Please.
You better quit your plan. Listen to me. I want you to quit your acting and get this over with.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Okay. You know what? You need a real good attorney. You need a real good attorney because we're going to show them the film where you say you're 5,000% sure you want him dead. You think I made that up? You think I made that up?
Ring cutter.
Exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to talk to you. When I leave this room, no other officer will ever talk to you again. Next time we see you is when you're in trial. And you can make it right here, or you're going to trial, and you're going to be life in prison. You want to cooperate with us, whatever you want to do. It's over and done once I walk out. I'm not coming back in to talk to you. And no one else is here. What do you want to do before I leave here? Because the next officer comes here, going to handcuff you and take you to the jail.
See my husband, please.
No, you don't want to see him. You don't want to see him. I'm leaving now. We don't have an officer coming here and cuff this. The person.
I don't know what's going on, please.
We'll go ahead and arrest him for solicitation of first-degree murder.
What's happening, please?
We'll finish that up.
Dahlia is then granted her fraudulent wish and comes face to face with her husband.
Oh my God.
He's alive.
Come here, please. Come here. Mike, come here. Come here, please. Come here. Oh my God, I didn't do anything to you. Mike, come here, please. Come here.
Okay. Thank you. We'll take her back to Brooklyn, please.
Dahlia was given roughly 15 minutes in her cell to calm down and have reality sink in. She was then brought back to the interrogation room, where two less confrontational detectives would pursue a confession. They were hoping the immediate switch from hostility to patience would influence her compliance.
Have you been advised of your rights before? Your Miranda rights?
No, but I wanted to make a phone call.
Okay. Earlier this morning, Sergeant Sheridan read you your rights from that card, right? And you understood your Miranda rights, your Fifth Amendment rights?
Yeah, but I wanted to make a phone call.
Okay, so phone call, we'll let you do that later. Not right now, though.
But while I'm still here,
Yeah, later on we will. Okay?
Did you understand your rights? Or you didn't understand them?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay.
I said yes to everything.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and read them again. Okay? And if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me. I'll explain them to you. Okay?
Okay, you understand your Fifth Amendment rights now? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go to the
Don't
regular
talk to the
restroom, please,
police.
before we start?
We don't talk to the police, all right?
Is it emergency?
I didn't feel comfortable doing any other one. Sorry. I
No
will
problem. No problem.
You mind if I call you Dahlia?
Yeah, please.
Thanks for the code.
All right. Do you understand what happened today? What's going on here?
A little.
Okay.
Now, slowly, I'm understanding a little bit better.
What's your understanding?
I was told one thing, and now, slowly, all these things start. I don't really know what happened.
Do you know that you are arrested today? You're being arrested.
That part I understood.
Okay. Do you know what for?
Not really,
You
no.
don't know the charge?
No, nobody, I don't know something.
Okay, go ahead and tell her the charge, Alex.
Okay. You're being arrested for soliciting to commit murder. Okay, which that means is you attempted to hire someone to kill somebody else, meaning your husband. Okay? And that's why you're here, and that's what you're getting charged with.
Okay, no.
You don't understand, or?
No, I never did that.
Okay, but that's what you're being charged with.
Okay.
And we have plenty of evidence to back it up. Okay? So, with your rights in mind, we want to give you an opportunity to do some soul searching maybe, and maybe get a lot off your chest and tell us the truth. That's what we want to hear.
The evidence against her was overwhelming, hence the lack of interrogation techniques being initiated. The detectives feel that this is an open and shut case, and whether the suspect chooses to confess at this moment or not, they believe the eventual outcome will be the same.
I mean, this has been worked for a couple of days now. It's not just the first day we're doing this. Reference to this case. And we have a lot of information to support our charge. It's just not a quick little thing. So, you know, we don't know when you're lying to us and all that. We just want to hear the truth. I mean, it's done. It's over with now, you know. And this is your opportunity to tell us the truth. That's all we want to hear. And we know the truth. So, I know it's hard to commit to that, but now's your time, you know? Do you have anything to say about this?
I'm going to talk to my husband.
Okay, well, you can't talk to your husband. He's not here right now. Let him go home. He's taking care of the house and the dogs, so.
The good thing about this whole thing is that nobody got killed. The tragedy was prevented today. You could look at it that way, you know? That's simple.
Big tragedy. I mean, someone's life, so. Everything's on tape, Dahlia. There's no denying it. You know? Everything's on tape, and it's not a bluff, so.
You gotta understand this, okay? Dahlia, listen to me for a second,
I
okay?
didn't do anything.
Listen to me for a second, okay? This is not our first day, okay? It's definitely not our second day, all right? This is an ongoing investigation, all right? Not only do we have your videotape, we have every conversation that you've had leading to this point, all right? So for you to sit here and deny that you haven't done anything, it's not going to help. Every little thing that you've done since this started, we've been involved in it. Do you understand that? I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. That's the truth. All right. Well, unfortunately, you're not going home, okay? You're looking at some serious charges here. Do you understand that you made the attempt to hire somebody to kill your husband? That's how serious this is. Okay, you can sit here and shake your head and deny it, but I'm going to tell you right now, all right, when the jury and the judge sees that videotape of you having this conversation, making a deal, all right, that's how far you went, all right? It's not about denying it wasn't me, I didn't do anything, because the video, the audio, it's not going to lie, all right, and all the evidence that we have collected throughout this investigation.
You sound like a fool right now denying this, because, like my partner just said, everything's on tape, video and audio. I know, but you're not going home. See, you're being arrested, so you're not going home.
So what do I have to do to go home? There's a place to go home.
I know, but you can't. It's impossible. You're going to the Palm Beach County Jail after this. You can't go home. You're being arrested. This is a game. In your mind, it might be a little game, but this is very, very serious. Murder? Are you kidding me?
Dahlia refuses to give any sort of acknowledgement whatsoever, even after being confronted with the hidden camera footage. She was then taken to the Palm Beach Detention Center, professing her innocence the entire way. When she finally got to jail, she accepted the offer to make a phone call. Now, try and imagine yourself in her position. Now think of the absolute last person on planet Earth that you would call at that moment.
Oh, hey, it's me.
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing, Mike. Can you please come here?
Hey, listen, I don't want to fight with you. Honestly, I can't help you.
Mike,
Don't you understand what just happened?
what they're saying is not true.
How is that possible?
Mike, I'm sitting here. It's not true. It's not possible. You wouldn't even give me 2 minutes to talk to you, but it's not possible. What they are saying is not true.
How in the hell did I hear it and see it?
Mike, I heard what you heard. It's not true. I heard what you heard and I saw what you saw. Everything they showed you, they showed me.
And how is it not? How are you telling me that?
I
It's
am
not
giving you my word that it's not true.
What Dahlia is doing here is known as gaslighting, a textbook form of manipulation used by psychopaths, sociopaths, and all those with narcissistic personality disorder. She is trying to cultivate doubt into Michael's mind by making him question his own perceptions. She does this by using persistent denial and misdirection to try and destabilize his thought process. Yet the hole that Dahlia had dug for herself on this occasion seems a little bit too deep for her device to have any sort of effect.
Guy, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
Mike, please, I need an attorney. Can you please help me? It's not true.
Your brother was here and I spoke to him. He's going to go talk to your mom. I called them for you already, right?
This is not true.
I understand it, too. Look, how do you explain what I saw and heard?
Mike, I am limited on my phone call. You know more than anybody. It's not true. Just give me time so I can talk to you.
What did it say? I saw it. I heard it.
I saw what you saw and I heard what you heard.
Okay, what the f***? You said you wanted to have me killed. I heard that.
It's not true. That is not
How is
true.
it not true?
How can you believe that?
I heard your voice.
How can you believe it?
What is the point? I heard you say it.
It's not. I heard what you heard and it's not.
What did I hear then? I heard you say
I heard the tape. Okay, I heard the tape and I saw pictures and I saw the whole 9 yards. I saw all of it.
So why would you meet a guy in a parking lot? Explain that.
I'm sitting here on the phone. I will tell you when I see you in person. Please.
I can't come there anyway. I'm not allowed there.
That's not true. Who said that? They tell you that on purpose. It's not true.
I don't know what you could tell me. Even if, let's pretend, I said, oh, it's all better. I can't, they're charging your ass. Don't you get it?
I didn't do anything. Please.
I don't know what to say to you. I can't help you.
You're not even trying.
What am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to have me an attorney, please, so I can talk to you.
I saw you with this guy in the truck or whatever the f*** it was. I saw it. I heard your voice clearly. Did
not say those things. Period.
So how did they get your voice on that tape recorder?
Like, I'm limited with my time, please.
You gotta be kidding me, man. Stallion, I heard you say that shit.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, okay?
You can't fix it. How are you gonna tell me that you didn't say it, you didn't do it? When I saw you say it, and I saw you do it.
What supposedly happened to you, how I got it, and how I left, and how everything? Can you meet me in person so I can talk to you?
No.
Why?
Why should I?
Because you know me. I never, ever, 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 ever in my wildest dreams ever want that for you, ever.
Well, you said it.
No, I did not say anything. Period. I didn't say anything.
I don't know how you're going to actually have the nerve to sit and lie to me now. I can't help you even if I wanted to. Do you get it?
Why don't you want to?
It's out of my f***ing head.
You're not even trying. It's different if you're trying. You're not even trying.
What could I possibly do for you? I don't get it. What could I do?
You're not even trying.
Trying what? I'm sitting here like a dumbass.
Please. Okay, they're getting ready to take me again.
Daddy, listen, I'm going to give you some advice, and you need to listen. You're going to be lying around in there for a little while, a couple days. You need to just try and relax and just go with it. And keep to yourself and don't say a lot.
I love you.
everybody treated me awful. I couldn't do anything to you.
She's
Everyone did anything awful to me.
just slightly north and east of the first. Tilt the second pillar.
There's nothing I can do to help you. You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do for you? Seriously? Sign my house back over to me. I'll help you out immensely. Give me my house back. That's it. That's it, what? I'll have the papers sent over to you somehow. You'll sign them over to me, and then I will help your mother. Okay? I'm not signing anything. I know you wouldn't sign anything. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but I can't help you. That's what you're thinking about. I'm sitting here watching. You're thinking about. Start having me killed. I just offered to help you, and again, you have the balls to say no to me. You just basically said you to me, which is hilarious.
It's just slightly downhill.
And considering what the just happened today. All right? Fingerprinted now.
Dahlia called her mother soon after, who was already informed of the situation by Michael and appeared to be a little bit more understanding over the whole situation.
Hello? Mom, I'm in jail. I know, Dahlia. I know. I find out. I need you to call Mike in New York. Okay, who do you want me to call? I need you to call Mike in New York, please. I called already and I called that. Everybody knows. What is it you want me to do? Where are you exactly? I'm in the county jail. I need you to call. Did Mike say is he coming? Everybody's coming, Dahlia. We're going to go ahead and get your lawyer, okay? Don't worry. Where are you? Are you in
Tilt the second part. No.
Yes, I'm here, Mom. Mike said this to me.
We're just slightly down.
Okay,
Yeah.
do
To the north of the
anything.
second pillar.
Continue to, I know you did.
Continue to make the purple lines come
Where are
out. Each of
you?
the pillars line.
Yes, I'm here in Gun Club, and I know Mike is at the house.
I did all that. What the fuck?
Okay, well, so right now we're going to need to have a lawyer first, okay? The title's in my name. All right, okay, don't worry about that right now.
Dahlia spent 20 months in jail before standing trial in April 2011. Her defense was bizarre. They claimed Michael DiPolito was a fan of reality TV, and the murder-for-hire plot was a hoax, just so he could get on television.
I'm just having fun with it. Come on, I'm with you.
You having fun with me? Let me ask you something. Is this fun, Mr. DiPolito?
This sucks.
Okay. Was it fun when you got arrested?
No.
Was it fun when you went through court?
Horrible.
Okay. So, is there anything funny about this proceeding at all, Mr. DiPolito?
The questions you're asking me, some of them, yeah.
You don't like them, do you?
It's ridiculous. We're not here because of me. I might as well, you might as well put me up next. I mean, what are we doing here?
The verdict came a month later on May 13th. The jury needed just 3 hours of deliberation.
The verdict we the jury found as follows. As to count one, we found the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. If you find the defendant guilty, you find that there is a firearm included in the solicitation, yes.
And you and I have spoken previously about you wanting to share some comments with the court as the judge considers the appropriate sentence in this case.
Yes, I do. I have no words to explain why this unfortunate event happened. And I am sorry that it did. I don't support what it happened. But I know that you have the power in deciding what happens to the next phase of Dahlia's life in showing mercy. In life, we make mistakes. Sometimes we will deserve a second chance. Dahlia's not dangerous. Your Honor, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, please, to have some mercy to her. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Where do I begin? Let me just start off by saying, when I married my wife, I was very much in love with her. And I thought we were doing things that normal married people do. And I was a very good husband. And I provided everything we needed. And, that being said, lo and behold, that wasn't the case. I don't know who these people are talking about, but it's not that girl. And I feel bad. I don't even want to be here. Since this started, I've always put my hand out. Give me my house. Let's be done with it. I'll beg the judge to even do whatever. I don't personally gain anything from this. You know, the difference between me and I guess what's going on here, you know, I went to prison. You know how I got there? I said I did it. Yeah, I did it. Let's get this over with and handle it. You know, that hasn't happened here. I mean, this girl doesn't feel sorry for anything. She still doesn't think she did anything. And believe me, I don't want to get up here and be nasty, but the reality is I sit and listen to this. Even today, we're talking about a retrial? Retrial for what? I mean, what is it we're doing? Who didn't understand what happened here? They still don't want to admit anything happened. Nothing bad happened. It's all good. Let's just all go home and it's fine. I'm not okay. You know, my father died. I was supposed to have been able to travel to see him. I didn't get to see my dad. You know, my dad's dead. And, you know, that was part of my plan. Get off probation, go see my family, spend time with my father. If she would have owned it like a normal person and would have owned up to something, I would respect that. But instead, when I get to court, I hear that I want a reality television show. As soon as we walk out here, you know they're filing for an appeal. You know why? Because they think everybody in this room is stupid. That's why. Because we're all stupid, and they're smarter than us. And nobody did anything. And God, she's a great girl. You know, when I met her, I thought all those things. I don't want to offend anybody, and believe me, I feel sorry for everybody that's in here crying. But you know what? I got to feel sorry for myself. Nobody's helping me. My mother had a nervous breakdown. I'm like, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. You know, I just don't know how I'm feeling some days. And it's just not fair. Like I said, and I mean this from my heart, I wish we weren't here. I wish she would have did anything but what she did.
The jury's found you guilty, Ms. DiPolito, of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. So my task is to figure out what an appropriate sentence would be, somewhere between 48 months and 30 years in the Department of Corrections. How do I rehabilitate you from what you have done? And I think that's a function of you know, spinning your moral compass. I think your moral compass is askew. I think that it's something that it's not like getting a drug addict off drugs or an alcoholic off alcohol, but rehabilitation, I hope that occurs as part of this sentence. A big variable, and the one that's most conspicuous, is punishment. You impose a sentence to punish bad behavior, criminal behavior, and that's going to be a large component of this sentence. And also a valid factor in imposing a sentence is retribution. And retribution is giving society the vent, the outlet, the sense of that person got what he or she had coming. So I consider those factors and try to figure out what weighs most in tailoring a sentence for you. And it has to do with the facts of the case, and it has to do with who you are and what you were thinking. And here's the way I see it. I think that a lot of it is what were your motivations? What were you doing? What were you thinking when that was going on? And I just come to the most obvious conclusion that you were motivated by greed, by avarice. There's no evidence that you...
Oh, snap. Oh, fuck. She about to die. Damn. Oh. Relax. Hold on.
Let's go. Is this level okay?
Still?
Everybody stand still, my soul! Sketch it! Here comes the fireworks! Fuse is lit!
Let me lead you first.
Get out of here! Out of the way! Time for a lecture!
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Hello?
Go up the shoulder!
No, my sword!
Sketch it! Teamwork is strength!
Okay. Where the fuck do I go from here? Nowhere? Okay, that's fine.
As siblings and parents should. But who you are when no one's looking, other than a camera in a police car, is quite different. And I think that peers deeply into your soul and speaks volumes of the way you were presenting this, and it was quite chilling to witness that. Based upon those factors, then, Ms. DiPolito, I'll accept the verdict of the jury. I'll find you guilty. I'll adjudicate you guilty. And I'm sentencing you to 20 years in the Department of Corrections.
Dahlia's first encounter with retribution was a big one, yet it didn't last long. The sentence was thrown out on a technicality 1 month later, and she was able to remain under house arrest for 6 years, awaiting her next trial. Her second trial began in 2016.
Dahlia DiPolito takes the stand with an unusual defense.
Dahlia says it was all part of a plan she hatched with her then-husband, Michael DiPolito, and former lover, Mohammed Shahadi, to get famous. Her now ex-husband, Mike DiPolito, says he couldn't wait to see what she'd say in court.
Let me know when she's going. I'll be sitting in the back with popcorn. I'd love to see this.
In an exclusive pretrial interview with 2020 this past December, DiPolito said she's just misunderstood.
Who is Dahlia DiPolito?
Understanding, sweet, and compassionate.
Manipulative, conniving. I got more than 3. Malicious.
Her attorney, Brian Claypool, says Dahlia is the innocent victim of a fame-hungry police department.
What the police department did is they found out she's an attractive woman. In their minds, they're like ching, ching, ching. This is a perfect skit. There's no question about it that the Boynton Beach Police Department was dead set on manufacturing a crime here.
How damaging are these tapes to your client?
They are damaging because people have formed opinions.
Our job in the second trial is to provide the proper context for the jury to see that this is not really what it looks like.
Claypool claims she only kept up the act because Mohammed threatened her with a gun.
He threatened to hurt me and to hurt my family.
Did you believe he would?
Absolutely, yes.
So she was threatened to act out a hoax on a videotape? I mean, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds to a lot of people watching this?
Yeah, that's not ridiculous. You've got a 6'2", 230-pound man with a gun
saying you will do this YouTube hoax or else?
Right.
5,000% sure, not 100% sure, not 1,000% sure, but 5,000% sure. How do you explain that?
I look at that video and I see somebody who's struggling with whether she's really sure.
She's struggling? What?
Why? Well,
how is she struggling if she's 5,000% sure?
Well, you might find that humorous, but when I hear people say they're sure, I'm 110% sure.
Why didn't she just tell police her version of what happened?
I've asked her that question too. Oh, yeah, everybody. Hey, Sergeant, this was just a YouTube thing we were putting together. She was in a state of shock.
I couldn't react. I just completely froze. I wanted to get out of there, and I felt paralyzed. The tape was a show. It was a tape. That was the purpose of it.
You were acting in those tapes?
Yes.
But you're telling the truth now?
Yes.
Why should we believe you?
This is what happened. The truth.
State of Florida versus Dahlia A. DiPolito, defendant. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows. As to count 1, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder as charged in the information. So say we all, the 16th day of June, 2017, in West Palm Beach.
Dahlia DiPolito was sentenced to 16 years in prison on July 21st, 2017. She was not given the possibility of parole, and her release date is set for August 24th, 2032. Her appeal was rejected by the Florida Supreme Court in September of 2019, and her sentence is now definitive. She is currently being held at the Lowell Correctional Institution in Gainesville, Florida, where she is expected to remain until the day of release. She will be 50 years old.
Last chance. Are you coming or not?
If you're crazy,
prostitute wife that you gave your house to tries to get you thrown in jail on drug charges and then tries to pay someone to murder you, it's got to be somewhat satisfying to have that person call and ask you for help. It's like, I really need your help. And you're like, yeah, I bet you do. But you tried to kill me.
I spit it from my block, it's an ode. I admit it here, the city code is lock and load. Any minute it's rock and roll, and you rock and roll until your soul.
The voice is the demon. So there's not
the person, whoever it is.
Does it have a name? Does it ever say, hey, my name's Nick, Does it use your name or use somebody else's name? Just a voice with no name.
Just a voice with no name telling me what to do.
Did the voice tell you to buy that AR-15?
Yes.
Did it tell you, hey, buy that gun, it looks cool? Did the AR-15 get picked out because it was similar to the gun that an Army Ranger would carry?
Because of the voice.
What do you think if you didn't buy it, if it said, hey, I ain't buying these guns, too expensive, what do you think the voice would have done to you?
I'm gonna hurt myself.
How would you hurt yourself?
Cut.
You're a cutter?
Okay.
When was the last time you cut yourself? Earlier when? Earlier today or earlier today? Or were you fishing that today?
At a lake.
Okay. Before the school shooting? Or what did you cut yourself with?
Knife.
Those little scratches on your arms? Hey, look at them. Come on, man. I get worse scratches weeding my flower bed than that. You weren't trying to hurt yourself. Was it sharp enough?
No.
How many knives do you have?
4, 5.
How long have you been cutting yourself?
Years.
You ever cut yourself where you had to go to the hospital and get stitches? When you cut yourself, it's because the voice just told you to cut yourself. And if you didn't talk or you didn't listen to the voice, then you were going to be alone because your voice was your only friend. That's kind of what you're saying. You know you have a biological brother. Since me and you have been talking, have you heard the voices? What's it say? For you to cut yourself. Does the voice like me? Does the voice like me? Why doesn't it trust me? Well, pretty relaxed, ain't it? Well, what does he like about me? I'm kind of grinning because I want to know what the voice's problem is with me. What doesn't he like about me? I treated you fairly. I've given you water. I talked nice to you. You know?
Too nice.
I'm too nice. Yeah. How many times has the voice talked to you while we've been in the room together?
A lot.
Has the voice said, jump out of the chair and do anything bad to that policeman?
Saying kill yourself now.
I don't really believe there is a voice, to be honest with you. No, I don't think there is.
I'm telling you the truth.
No. I mean, I feel you probably want to kill yourself because of what happened, but...
No, the voice is telling me to kill myself.
Okay, but the voice is telling you that the AR-15s is... You like guns, man. You want to be a ranger. You like guns. It's all right. There's cops like that. There's cops who got 50 million guns. You didn't buy guns because the voice said, hey, today I like Mossbergs, tomorrow I like AR-15s. You like guns.
Can call the psychologist.
I read that questions from some of the psychologists. Some of the questions I asked you were from. Yeah. That's the ones I asked you. You already?
The questions were obviously from the investigation team and not a psychologist, but the suspect doesn't know this, and it's fascinating to observe his reaction when he sees the questions are not sympathetic in nature. He perhaps thought a psychotherapist would be asking him about his feelings and affording him some type of reassurance after he committed mass murder, and he becomes very unsettled once he realizes the procedure won't be quite as sympathetic.
What did the voices say?
Time to bring everybody stand back. The fuse is lit.
I don't know. I don't understand why you can't read my guns. You want to talk to a psychologist? Why didn't you talk to a psychologist when the voices started? The voice was telling you not to talk to a psychologist? You ever go to church? No, I'm saying ever in your life. You believe in God? What do you believe in? What did you believe in demons? Did you believe in angels? Angels is the good. Demons are the bad. When you say the word demon, you think it's an evil spirit? Or what do you think it is?
The subject had earphones in during the mass shooting. The topic now lands on the music he was listening to.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we don't like the same music. What kind of music we listen to in the group? You have to me Mark what? What was the song? That's the name of the song, Salad. But you listen to one song, another song. Did you pick the music yourself? Or did the demon pick the music? Which ones did you pick? Which ones did he pick? What's the meaning of what's the meaning? What? Unsermensch. And what does that say? I mean, there's no lyrics to it?
Well, there's lyrics, but I don't know what it is.
But is it in English?
No.
What language is it in?
German.
German? Do you speak German?
No.
Then how do you know what the lyrics mean?
I don't.
So they could be happy, right?
I don't know if they're happy.
Again, you don't because you can't speak it.
The demon tried to
But you have one. How many do you have them on your playlist?
I don't know.
So you listen to them a lot of times? So you have a playlist of music. The demons helped you pick out, but you picked out some of them.
I guess.
It's the first time I'm understanding this demon. The Xanax you were talking to me about earlier, where'd you get the Xanax? On the street? Or on the street? So you used to buy that? Other than Xanax and marijuana, what you ever tried? Vodka? PCP? Cocaine? Heroin? Xanax, how many of those did you take? What you used to take?
I don't think,
Okay, 5 or what?
Oh, where the fuck is this supposed to go? Is this supposed to go? Let's go check this right here.
Did they help you sleep? Did it even go away? When was the last time you did the Xanax? So the Xanax helps you get the demons away. When was the last time you smoked marijuana?
This realm.
Making $1,200 a week while you smoke marijuana every day. It's illegal. time you heard the demon is.
If you
Like,
ever
when
had it,
you had the money. So the demon wanted you to do wrong, but then the good side didn't want to do wrong by smoking marijuana. You know, maybe go. So the doctor did have anxiety problems and marijuana and Xanax cured your anxiety and made it go. That seemed like an easy fix, man. That's true. You sure you didn't like the demon voice? Sure. Why didn't you go to a doctor? You ever? Why, well, look at that. So, let me ask you another crazy question. Was the demon there that night? Ian beat you up on campus? Was the demon there that day when Ian beat you up on campus? Okay, so Ian beat up. You were the demon. Okay, so why did the demon do something to stop it? Huh? I don't know. That's a good question. Because the demon's trying to do all these bad things. Why couldn't the demon get you mad enough to get the best of Ian? That makes sense. The demons is all-powerful thing to tell you to do bad things and you're afraid of it. Why didn't the demon just take over right then when Ian was getting the best of Ian and get the best of Ian? Why did the demon not do that? Why do you think? I don't know. I can't figure it out either because I don't think the demon exists. I don't think it exists. I think that them go ahead.
Can I have a way to myself about it?
Yeah, sure. Hey, you can think all you want. I'm just
thinking about the dream.
Well, you want me to leave you think for a while and then I'll come back and talk to you. I personally, I think you're using the demon as an excuse.
I'm not.
You can stop the demon by getting a prescription for marijuana. You can stop the demon by getting a prescription for Xanax. You can stop the demon by illegally doing marijuana, which you were doing anyway. You can stop the demon by doing Xanax illegally, which you were doing anyway. You can stop the demon anytime you want. You didn't want to stop the demon.
The subject seems to be coming to the realization that he's not going to be treated as a victim. As he begins to meet this reality, you will notice him exhibit signs of fear. You will then see him attempt to escape the confrontation by feigning a state of psychosis once more. The detective will recognize this, but this time will not afford reassurance. He will instead apply further condemnation, and a visibly frightening realization will engulf the suspect from that point forward. It's essentially the very beginning of retribution. The detective introduces him to the rest of his life at this moment.
You didn't. You could have. I've given you 4 ways you could have stopped the demon, man. Okay, now you're just acting like that because... Okay, well, relax. You're just acting like that because I'm making sense. Calm down. I'm making sense, and you don't like when it makes sense. Because it doesn't fit into the story you're telling me. Why are you looking at your arm now?
I'm trying to understand why.
Well, why didn't you want to stop the demon? Because I think you like the demon. Why didn't you stop it? That's if the demon exists. You want what, an attorney? The voices tell you to get an attorney? Okay. Alright, well, you tell the voice that don't hit yourself in the head. Because the attorney, you just requested that rule. I won't Stop talking to me. You scared of what? What? We need to talk to me, man. I don't know. I don't want to talk to me. All right, well, again, your demon wants an attorney. Does he even know an attorney? Any name in particular? All right, well, just relax. You're done talking to me. Once again, I grabbed the wrong key. Do me a favor. Stay seated. Put your hands out of support in the chair. I would put handcuffs behind you. Since you keep talking about hurting yourself. Hold on. Give me your best. No, not behind the chair. Behind the bed. I don't want to get out. You can say it up. Nice guy.
Nicholas Cruz was taken to the Broward County Jail, where he remains in isolation to this day. His trial date is yet to be scheduled.
The 20-year-old has been held without bond since last year's mass shooting that left 17 people dead. His attorney said he would plead guilty in exchange for a life sentence, but prosecutors rejected that offer and are seeking the death penalty.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily. Let's get into the tech news. Our first story of the day is about the Galaxy Z Galaxy Note series. Now, this is coming from a tweet, and I couldn't find it myself. I Googled it. Maybe you can find it. I don't know if it was pulled from a Korean news article and translated, and that's why I can't officially find this quote. But it's seemingly real, and it's a little bit scary if you're a Note fan. With that said, let's dive into this tweet. It's coming from Anthony the Galaxy. He puts in quote, "The foldable phone lineup with lower prices will fill the void of the Galaxy Note." And he's putting Samsung as the company or person that has officially said this quote. Now, if this is true, this is looking like your beloved Galaxy Note phone would never come back, seemingly, at this point. It's seeming like they would potentially throw all of their roses, their buds, their food, their whatever you want to call it, into the same bucket, and that's where they would live. So if you're looking at grabbing potentially the Galaxy Note 22, when that would maybe come out this coming year, it's probably looking like it might not. This quote, again, is true that they would be putting I should have said eggs. I said food. I don't know why. Putting all their eggs in one basket. And it makes sense, kind of, because this is the first year, the Fold 3 and the Flip 3, where seemingly, and there's been rumors about it, that they're going to put a lot of advertising and a big push behind these phones, because they seemingly think they're in that next generation where, they've been out for a couple of years, people know how to use them, people like it, people love it, they've got their own fan base now it's time to build that out, whereas, the candy bar phones that we have today are kind of a dime a dozen at this point. You can pick up a really good candy bar phone, such as the Pixel 5a for $450, and this can basically do everything you want on this phone. And why do you spend $600, $700, $800 more than you can do on this phone? That's where we're getting at. So I I wouldn't be surprised if we see this take over the Note line, especially with it having S Pen support, and then that S Pen support's going to grow over time with probably Bluetooth support, maybe a place to actually house the S Pen. There's so many ways that this is going to improve over the years to come for the Galaxy Z Fold. And our last story of the day for everyone who loves Galaxy Z Fold phones like myself. I know a couple of other comments like, let me tell you something, guys.
Super Monkey Ball.
Let's find shelter quick. We're not going to make it.
I think every single fan of Lil Uzi Vert probably remembers exactly where they were when they first listened to his long-awaited 2020 album, Eternal Take. For me personally, I was in a long car ride with my friend the day the album came out, and on our first listen through of this album, one thing jumped out at me right away. The track You Better Move opens with this sample, which I immediately recognized from Space Cadet Pinball, a game that came pre-installed with Windows 95. And playing through the track a second time later that week, I noticed that if you listen closely, Uzi even mumbles an acknowledgement of this game as the track starts.
I like to play that football game. You better move. That was before I had internet. You better move. Oh, you better move.
But anybody who knows Uzi knows that when it comes to him making nerdy references in his music, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Actually, in the very same song, Uzi drops a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference.
Yu-Gi-Oh, you wanna do? Blue eyes, white dragon, no, I will not lose.
Or you could point to this anime reference from New Paddock.
Dog gang size number 2. Put metal in my nose like pain.
Now, between lyrics like these, Uzi's repeated use of Scott Pilgrim imagery in his mixtape art, and the fact that he recently customized his car to look like this, there's absolutely no question that Uzi is a nerdy little dude. Anime, comic books, video games, all these have clearly had a big influence on who he is. But today, I actually want to talk about one very specific instance where Uzi's interests overlap with my own. The moment when, back in 2016, and joined by Gucci Mane, Lil Uzi Vert actually rapped over a song from Super Monkey Ball. First, let's set the scene. The year is 2016, and if you had to pick a year to say was the year that Uzi really started blowing up, 2016 would be a pretty good answer, I think. Previously known for a handful of well-received mixtapes, Uzi absolutely exploded that year. In 2016 alone, Uzi released 2 mixtapes, was named as part of that year's XXL freshman class, where, if you look closely, he's wearing a jacket with the Pokemon Meowth on it, and also put out an entire mixtape with Gucci Mane. That mixtape with Gucci was called 1017 vs. the World, and it's on this very mixtape that you'll find the song I'm talking about. The track in question is called Secure the Bag, and this is what it sounds like.
Diamonds on my choker, diamonds on my necklace.
Now, if you're a fan of Super Monkey Ball, that beat might sound a little bit familiar to you, so for comparison's sake, let's listen to the game's music.
Ready?
No, not that song. Not that one.
Ready?
There. Listen to these two songs side by side, and it is undeniable. In the 8th world of the GameCube game Super Monkey Ball 2, you can hear the exact music that Uzi and Gucci rapped over on this mixtape.
Boy, you want my swag, trying to soak in it. Diamonds in my teeth, with some gold in it.
So how exactly did this happen? How did 2 of the biggest rappers of the past decade end up rapping on a Super Monkey Ball song together? Was this a case of someone just randomly stumbling across the song and choosing to sample it? Or was it possible somebody involved in this song's creation was actually a fan of Super Monkey Ball? For years, I've wondered about this, but it was only recently that I decided I needed to find out for myself. So I spent some time looking into it, and eventually I discovered that Secure the Bag was produced by a young Chicago-based producer by the name of Lohan Beat.
Boom, bang, boom, bop, beep. Whoa, boy, yeah.
Up and away.
Hello, jungle.
Stabilize.
The Super Monkey Ball franchise has spent the past decade in absolute freefall. After debuting in 2001 with a pair of phenomenal arcade platformers on the GameCube, the series fell into a sharp decline, with Sega releasing well over a dozen increasingly terrible video games. A slow-motion 15-car pileup of bad games, culminating in a monstrosity called Super Monkey Ball Bounce, a terrible Peggle clone released on smartphones in 2014. Now, Super Monkey Ball Bounce is important. It's a symbolic representation of how far the monkey fell from the tree. This game, it seemed, was the furthest Sega could possibly stray from II's Divine Light. Not content to simply desecrate the Monkey Ball franchise with pale imitations of the original game's core gameplay, Bounce took it one step further. With Bounce, Sega intended to squeeze what little blood there was left in this stone by throwing a Monkey Ball skin on a game that had literally nothing to do with Super Monkey Ball. A shameless cash grab copy of an old PopCap game the world had already lost interest in 7 years earlier. Now, after Bounce came a period of quiet. This game, it seemed, was the end of it. A final bullet in the head of the long-suffering monkey-based franchise. And with the Monkey Ball franchise finally laid to rest, face down in a shallow grave that Sega barely bothered to kick dirt onto, one couldn't help but wonder, how did we get here? Why did Super Monkey Ball go from this to this?
080684.
Well, if you ask me, it all comes down to two simple words. Daddy issues. Let me explain. See, from the very beginning, the Super Monkey Ball franchise was shepherded by one brilliant man, Amusement Vision studio head Toshihiro Nagoshi. A bright-eyed young man with a background in creating fun, colorful arcade games, Nagoshi not only conceived the original Monkey Ball arcade release in 2001, he also served as the director of the GameCube games Monkey Ball and Monkey Ball 2, the absolute height of the series' quality. It was an incredible moment in Sega's history. See, here they had this savvy young Japanese game designer who had just created an arcade series so excellent, so simple, and perfect, and irrefutably fun, that it had actually made the jump to home game consoles and secured Sega an exclusive partnership with Nintendo. At this point in his life, it would have taken something big to draw Nagoshi's attention away from Monkey Ball to somewhere else, to have him take his eye off the Monkey Ball, as it were. But then, one fateful day, and that's something. Turns out, Monkey Ball's success wasn't enough for Nagoshi. He wanted to create something other than Super Monkey Ball, something bigger. This all led up to one key moment, and it was in 2005 when Nagoshi held a press conference in Tokyo's Shinjuku ward where he said, quote, "For a while now, I've wanted to create a powerful, gritty drama where you feel the sense of humanity. After a lot of thought, this is the product we've arrived at. The product, overseas, would eventually be known as Yakuza."
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Leo tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
What? What did he say? Can I call it to go into Rosa voice chat? Okay. Yeah. Gather. Okay, cool, dope. Oh, that's fine. Oh, okay. I understand. Completely. I said I understand completely. Alright, peace. It's supposed to be a lot of hard work going on, but who the hell can focus with this twerking going on? Someone put an order in for a chicken. For a chicken? You know, I got the hookup. They just wait on me to cook up. Baby, I heat up the stove. You do the dishes, you know. Rap game, crack game, ain't that different, you know. Last album had it booming something vicious, you know. Alright, what the fuck was I going? Alright. Critical parts. I got one. Where's the other one? I don't know. I believe I'm going the wrong way. Oh, there's a... Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know there was a point right there. Okay. Let's think. Which way did we go? I think we went this way. So now we gotta find the other thing. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to die in the water. So I'll get out of voice chat. Take these headphones off. Alright, cool, thank you.
Where do you want to go next?
At the time, the Western media described it as a, quote, new Shenmue-like CS2 game from the Super Monkey Ball team. And this game was an enormous undertaking, with a development budget of a whopping 2.4 billion yen. And in order to justify that high cost, a sacrifice had to be made. Around the time that Yakuza development began, Negoshi's studio, Amusement Vision, the studio that brought us Super Monkey Ball and F-Zero GX, among other things, was dissolved, merged into Sega's new entertainment division. Their goal? To shift focus away from arcadey pick-up-and-play games like Monkey Ball and refocus on making, quote, epic and film-style titles. Slowly but surely, Nagoshi began to change, inside and out. The sweet young man who created a whimsical series about cartoon monkeys bouncing their way through a colorful world, that man began to vanish, and in his place, a hardened, tanned, tough-as-nails exterior began to form. One troublingly reflective of the Yakuza gangsters he'd sacrificed his baby in order to tell stories about. Now, of course, the Super Monkey Ball series continued, but without Nagoshi at the helm. Bit by bit, he stopped directing the new Super Monkey Ball games, serving as a distant producer rather than a hands-on director. Toshihiro Nagoshi had remarried into a new family now with new children, and besides, who had time for Monkey Ball with Yakuza 2 on the way? Eventually, Nagoshi turned his back completely on Super Monkey Ball, ending his directorial duties on the series. But before he did that, the newly Yakuza-fied Nagoshi served as director on one last Monkey Ball game. A game that, in my analysis, would ultimately go on to kill the Super Monkey Ball franchise. That game? Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz! See, Banana Blitz was a big deal for the Monkey Ball franchise. Putting aside a handful of re-releases, handheld ports, and an extremely ill-advised platformer, Banana Blitz was the first true Monkey Ball game since the phenomenal Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2. And better still, it was a launch title for Nintendo's brand new Wii console. And indeed, on paper, this seemed like a marriage made in heaven. I mean, here we had a game series about rolling a ball around on a stage, and a game console built around physical motion controls. Ostensibly, Banana Blitz was the perfect fit for the Wii. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was bad. The motion controls felt crummy and imprecise, a far cry from the level of precision Monkey Ball fans were used to getting from the GameCube's phenomenal 8-way analog stick. But despite what critic would have you believe, the motion controls weren't actually the biggest problem with Banana Blitz. The problem was deeper, more philosophical. See, to make up for these clunky motion controls, the Banana Blitz team came up with a pretty clumsy solution. Just put guardrails around every single level. That way, you can't fall off. But Nick, you're asking, doesn't that defeat the entire point of the game? Isn't that a complete betrayal of the core design philosophy of Super Monkey Ball? The answer is yes. I mean, despite the silly name and colorful appearance, those first two Monkey Ball games were shockingly hardcore. A brutal expression of unadulterated, pure level design. Like an overripe version of its namesake fruit, Banana Blitz was softer, much softer. Banana Blitz's hard to stabilize were easier than some of Monkey Ball 2's easy. Compare this late game level in Banana Blitz to this pretty early level in Super Monkey Ball 2. The difference in challenge is astounding. Because of the series' roots as a quarter-punching arcade game, the original 2 Super Monkey Ball games were tough as all get out, just challenging, skill-testing experiences. With the release of Banana Blitz, Sega had chosen to shape all these edges away, often literally. To a fan of the first 2 Monkey Ball games, playing Banana Blitz felt like going to a bowling alley and then trying to bowl with the bumper rails up. Sure, the ball rolling action was technically there, but virtually all the challenge and skill testing had been sucked out of it, and you felt like a stupid baby when playing it. Combine this wrong-headed approach to level design with the totally unnecessary addition of a jump button, strange variable character stats, and bafflingly boss battles for some reason, and you had a certifiable bad game on your hands. After Banana Blitz, Monkey Ball eventually expanded beyond the Wii, but the damage to the game's DNA had already been done. Super Monkey Ball had left its motion controls behind, but tragically, as new games released, the guardrails remained, often to accommodate janky, imprecise control methods like the Wii Remote, the DS Stylus, and even the Wii Balance Board. Sega continued this pattern for years. They kept making Monkey Ball games with worse and worse control schemes made playable by easier and easier levels. Perhaps the most egregious example of all is the one I just alluded to, Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll, a game so rife with guardrails that you have to get 19 levels deep before you can find a stage where falling off is even theoretically possible. Heck, even the guardrails have guardrails in this game. All that to say this, Toshihiro Nagashi's final game as director of Super Monkey Ball set the series on a destructive course that led to the franchise's undoing, and was such a spectacular failure, at least to Monkey Ball fans, that its mistakes have echoed through the series for an entire decade. So, fast forward to 2019. The 10th Yakuza game is on its way, Toshihiro Nagoshi now looks like this, and nobody has seen or heard from the Monkey Ball franchise in 6 years, long enough to declare it legally dead. During this period, the only time Super Monkey Ball even crops up in the news is when Nagoshi tells Famitsu magazine he never understood why it was popular in the first place, one final stab in the back to the franchise he created and later helped destroy. By this point, Monkey Ball fans the world over, myself included, had just given up on the idea that the franchise would ever return. The franchise's last entry, that shameful Pebble Clone I mentioned, was a big enough disaster that Sega had actually delisted it from the App Store. A truly horrible, if perhaps fitting, note to end the series on. At long last, after over a dozen bad games, it seemed the franchise was finally dead. And right then, right as Monkey Ball fans the world over had finally abandoned all hope, this happened. I remember this clearly. I woke up one morning, got on the computer, and saw these headlines. Sega revives Super Monkey Ball with a new trademark in Japan. New trademark suggests that the Monkey Ball series is returning. Sega trademarks Tabegoro Super Monkey Ball in Japan. Out of disbelief, I even went and looked up the Japanese trademark application myself, and there it was, clear as day. A trademark for Tabegoro Super Monkey Ball, quietly filed by Sega from the safety of their Shinagawa City headquarters back in April. It goes without saying that this was huge news to the Super Monkey Ball fan community. After a decade of scorn from Sega, Monkey Ball fans were finally opening our hearts and allowing ourselves to get excited again. In the comment section of articles all over the internet, you could find Monkey Ball fans lighting up with cautious optimism about this new game. The media breathlessly reported on this as a, quote, new game in the Super Monkey Ball series, and honestly, who could blame them? There had never been a game called Tabegoro Super Monkey Ball in the series history, so all signs pointed to this being a brand new title in the franchise. Which is why it felt like such a betrayal when one morning I woke up to see the following email in my inbox.
Adventure time.
Oh, where the fuck is this last one?
An email I see in my nightmares every single night. This email revealed that the game known as Tabegoro Super Monkey Ball, the game we had all been getting excited for, it was not a new game at all, but a remake. And out of the entire Super Monkey Ball library, out of every game they could have chosen, they chose this. Not the fan favorite front-runner GameCube games, not even the half-decent PlayStation Vita game, but the very game that symbolized Monkey Ball's decline. I was in disbelief. Honestly, this didn't even seem like a decision that was made by a human. This felt like, in many ways, the cruelest possible move Sega could make here, and I'm not alone in feeling that way. To take this beloved franchise from the brink of death only to remake a mediocre Wii game that served as the bellwether of the franchise's decline, it was unimaginably inhumane. It'd be like if Sega forgot that Sonic existed for most of a decade and then triumphantly announced Sonic's return by proudly announcing that they were remaking and remastering Sonic 06. And it seemed as though Sega was almost going out of their way to rub salt into this wound. Take, for instance, the game's launch trailer. I am not kidding, this is the line that they open the launch trailer with.
It's a brilliant Super Monkey Ball game!
Unbelievable. Now, the comments on this video are predictably pointing out the same thing I am, that it is absolutely not, in any sense of the word, a new Monkey Ball game. But it wasn't just the comments on this trailer where Monkey Ball fans rose up to make themselves heard. A cursory glance at the Steam reviews of Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD should make it immediately clear that this is a game nobody wanted. And to be totally honest, as a Monkey Ball fan, this whole process, this roller coaster of emotions that Sega put us on, it stung. The announcement of this brand new Monkey Ball game, only to have the rug pulled out from under us for the 16th time, it hurt a lot. And you might be wondering, so what? If you hate the game so much, just ignore it. No one's forcing you to buy it. Unfortunately, dear viewer, that is where you're wrong. In the lead up to Banana Blitz HD's release, Sega has come out and explicitly said that they're open to making more Monkey Ball games in the future, if and only if Banana Blitz HD sells. The headlines were clear. Quote, buy Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD and Sega might remake the original game. In essence, Sega was holding the franchise hostage, telling Super Monkey Ball fans, hey, buy this game, the game precisely zero of you were asking for, if you ever want to see your precious Ai again.
Yo,
so,
that's wild.
I did this, but I did. Choking back bile, I finally caved and purchased the bad video game. And ultimately, since Banana Blitz HD is
crazy.
$29.99, the cost of the game wasn't really the issue.
First on Snapchat.
The cost on my soul, on the other hand,
what?
I know, right?
That's you know what?
So I'm talking with her right now. Dang. You know, see what's popping. I was just like, yo, I just figured out to try to shoot my shot. And then she was like, okay, fine, what's up? What? I'm like, oh wow, that actually worked.
Oh my god!
I'm like, oh snap, the door's open.
Yo, what do you mean? You mean her off of Snap?
Nah, I made a Tinder.
Oh,
and then added
I
her
just
on
deleted
Snap.
Tinder and I deleted everything. That actually works.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted, my guy. Flabbergasted. I'm like, this don't never work for me.
Never work. Never work.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes away from St. Vincent. She works at Applebee, she said. I'm like, let me see what it do. Bro.
Benny's Adventure Chain Assemble!
Drastically, and they haven't made like any good Super Monkey Ball game for a while after. Yeah. It's because Yakuza is making so much money for Sega is ridiculous. I think that Sonic, I think Yakuza makes more than Sonic. I ain't gonna lie, but just based off the name,
Let's go find some treasure.
like if we go on by the games, Yakuza got better games than Sonic. Sonic games has been iffy these past couple years. Yakuza games have been pretty good. I'm not gonna cap. I don't know, man. She's just crazy. Oh my fucking god, he did. Ooh! Jesus! Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! He got fucking blasted off the space. I gotta jump back up there. I don't even have. You make me want to re-download Tinder. I might do that now. Shit. Is she white or black?
White.
Yeah, it's all white girls in there, man. It's white girls, white girl, white girl, white girl, white girl. White girls, just white girls, just white girls, just white girls. Fuck!
And that's to say nothing of the guilt I felt from people who had watched my prior Monkey Ball content and mistaken it as an endorsement of this deeply mediocre Monkey Ball re-release. Over the past couple months, I've seen countless comments from people who purchased Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD after watching my documentary about the original game's narrator, assuming that this was a blanket endorsement of the entire franchise, and trusting that Sega wouldn't bother remastering one of the least worthwhile games in the series. The guilt from that broke me. After all this, I felt hollow. I found myself sitting here staring at Banana Blitz HD in my Steam library, hating what Sega had made me become. Not just a bad video game buyer, but a man who was haplessly aiding and abetting the sale of bad games to his trusting audience. It was too much. Before long, I knew I had to hit back. I had to hit Sega where it hurt. And in order to do that, I would need to head directly to the source of the anguish. But on a flight to Tokyo, in search for revenge.
I believe elevation should be down, good sir. And then from there, this should be this way and up. Oh, there's two? Fuck. Let's see.
After a 12-hour flight, I arrived in Japan and began devising my plan. I knew I had to figure out a way to strike at the heart of Sega and do something that would really get my message across. I had to figure out something I could do that Sega would hate. Something that they really, really didn't want anybody to do. And that's when I remembered it. For years now, I've been on the receiving end of email communication from Sega's PR team. If you remember, the moment that the Banana Blitz HD bombshell was dropped on me, that news came to me courtesy of an email from Sega PR. And for as long as I can remember, one aspect of Sega PR's emails has always jumped out at me. Contained in the sidebar of each and every Sega PR blast is the following disclaimer. Quote, please note, any alteration of art assets provided in this email, including but not limited to flipping, major cropping, drop shadowing, stroking, glowing, and or color brightness contrast modification, is strictly prohibited without express prior consent from Sega. Thank you for your cooperation. Well, unfortunately for Sega, one man wouldn't be cooperating. Step one was selecting an art asset to vandalize. In order to make my message clear, I knew I had to select an image from the Banana Blitz announcement email, and after looking through a few screenshots, I finally chose my victim. Doggone on a stupid. Briefly, I opened the image in Adobe Photoshop and began executing each and every one of Sega's forbidden edits. Flipping, major cropping, drop shadowing, stroking, glowing, color modification, brightness modification, and contrast modification. I took a deep breath. It was done. I sat back and looked upon the monstrosity I had created. I had just broken each and every one of Sega's 8 commandments, and to be honest, the rush was exhilarating. The next step would be to take my creation from the digital world into reality. Luckily, Japan had a solution for that too. I walked over to a nearby Lawson convenience store and got to work.
photo challenge up here on the stage. Get a $60 donation from Snorlax here. Their comment, baby is best monkey. Alright, who agrees, who disagrees? Yeah, okay, I got a firm no, couple of cheers, okay. Here's a $45 donation from Ryan McBaird, donating so I can see my man Gone be the monkey for Super Monkey Ball. Always support the big boys. Thank you, Ryan. Alright, sounds like we've got some opinions there differing among the crowd, but that's it. Enough talk, enough monkey talk. We're sending it to the main stage. It is time. Super Monkey Ball with...
Wait, I didn't grab it? Don't tell me I didn't grab it.
Very hard to do positive. That pausing was a little bit slow, but I want to make sure y'all see these credits. So. Yeah, the great thing about Monkey Ball is that this is just chock full of action. Like, do you think there's a resting point? But no. Not really, no. Alright, so as soon as we finish 410 here, we're going to immediately, for a few weeks anyways, it's going to immediately mix it out because it takes time we don't have. Nope, you're really fine. I accidentally entered beginner again. Okay, we're good. It's happened. It happened in Marathon. We have a fun little stage, a trolley stage actually coming up here. He's gonna go off the right side and try to get a clip for the goal. You'd be surprised how often it just doesn't give you clips. So let's kind of hope. All right. Left RNG, thank you. Yeah, collision in this game is technically not RNG, but it is kind of whack. It doesn't always work. If you're going fast enough, you sometimes just want to get a clip of you. Yeah. For those of you that have played past GDQ runs, it seems like the more we play out collision in this game, the less we realize that we actually know. Yeah. What you really need to know for the most part is that the collision works until it becomes up. Coming up on another bonus stage. The bonus stage in this game is pretty deep. Fine. Less stuff to worry about. Something to note too is he's trying to hit a very specific part of this stage to get out. It's not like you just hit any part of the rail on that stage. Just fly out. There's no technique to doing that. Yeah, the beginning bonus stages be really tricky to get out. This is probably one of the hardest puzzles there in the run. First time donating to GDQ, but I've definitely been watching for a long time. Thanks to GDQ for helping me putting this character and inspired me to start speeding myself. Thanks to Felix and the rest of the community.
Can't afford any more images. Let me read your verse.
Time for a lecture.
Rain outlines your fate.
That particular stage can be kind of inconsistent, so it's very precise. Yeah. And, as speedrunners, we skip the tendency is you're supposed to take the third round there and wait for it to put you out. Didn't do that. It's supposed to take like just a tape. Yeah, no worries. Why play this tape, right? I don't know, man. They're just looking down. I scared myself so much. Oh my god. We're getting rid of cancer. You're already giving us heart attacks. We're just a problem for another. I'm sorry. Okay, it's very good cause. No! That was the first death. Wow. Party Ball is infamous troll in this game. Yeah. He can either be really friendly to you or just eat you out the way. Nice one, let it count. Yeah, there we go. This is the first of many ridiculous monsters. Many of them are very perfect. Something to note about this game runs at 60 FPS, so every single time he's going for a frame, he's hitting a 1/60th of a second input. Yes, 2! That was pretty recently found. Shoutouts to Colin Ball and Rookie for putting major amounts of research and effort to continue to optimize this game. If you think this game is done being optimized or any other game in the series, far from it. There's still a lot of dedicated people trying to find the patch stuff, new cost grounds, and all the sorts. So after this level here, we're coming up on Halloween colors, purple, puzzles, grabbing, fun. So you see all this complex stuff, right? Nah, we're just gonna ignore most of it. Yeah, this
Time to act.
Body
Body and mind. Body and mind.
Alright, we got a donation now. So, if you guys have a plan, yeah. Alright, here I go. Chuck SSB with a $10 donation for here, which here, let's go Helix13 _ This game is blowing my freaking mind. It's a problem my power to see it here. Love you, bud. Helix. Thank you. Yeah, and Sean Fogarty with a $20 donation. Helix, Pokeball, and Seed. Thank you, Sean. Alright. One more. We got Mao Fever with a $10 donation. Hey, Helix Mao here. Super proud to see someone I know at GDQ. I'm sure the rest of the Craft Dev community is cheering you on. Good luck on your road trying to avoid some memory leaks while you're going so fast, okay? Yeah. We're done with the name. Alright. How long is this music about? Yeah, thank you, George, for shouting out my Twitch. It's also my Twitter. Any stats I miss, I'll be uploading there. Either later this week or when I get home. At this rate, you're not gonna have much stuff. Yeah, I feel pretty low money right now, honestly. So an expert is usually where you would start this speed run if you were just doing like a series PB attempts. But since we're out of marathon, it would be respectful to end with the climax of expert. Who wants to end with beginner? That's boring. Especially if you meet that impressive point nice guy.
Witness the power of power. Oh my power.
On that stage previously, they even put a rail just to make sure that you couldn't do the strat Oh, nice. Just barely enough. There's a boss fight for that got to show off. Okay. Man, if you can do it without the same
Is there more? Who's left? Oh, there's. Boom. There you go. It's relay stones.
You can make like a very tight cycle. It's looking pretty juicy here. Yeah. Just slow down just a bit is to lose 2.5 seconds to waiting for the gear to rotate all the way around. Yeah. It's a high risk, high reward strat. Okay, I'll just wait. It's fine.
Body and mind.
Yeah. That's one I'll put. Alright. So this thing is going to look very similar to a stage advance, but the strats, not so much.
Okay, how the fuck do I do this? Let's make him Kiki. That's a samurai.
Time to act.
Okay.
My family makes ornate umbrellas that want neither rain nor
We
shower.
went there.
Their sole purpose is for
And we
decoration.
went here. We didn't go here yet, actually. What's here? It's worth a shot. What is going on? It's not. Fuck. What the fuck did we do, man? Fuck. I came over here, right? There's something here. We killed it. We got the chest. Where the fuck do I go now? Fucking know, man.
Time to act.
So we did this one, which is silly, man.
Time to act.
My only guess is that it's here and I missed it. But it's already done. What? I've done this one.
Body and mind. Not good.
Where the fuck do I go now? What the fuck? This is pissing me off. What the fuck? Went everyone. He went here. What the fuck? So we went here.
That is not supposed to go like that. Just to let everyone know, try that at home, that won't happen. 29 relies on collision, and once again, collision is not the best. So I'm going to try to do a pause right here to make this consistent. Yeah, otherwise we need to count on not just rolling straight over these full bumps that are on the edge of each of the conveyors, but I think we got them. Yeah, I got it. Yep. Yeah, nice. Yeah, just like that. Easy up front. That stage has killed so many runs for me.
Body and mind.
I don't fucking know. There is no body, there is no mind. It's all... It's supposed to... If I did this, then it's done so.
Kind of like my hometown. My home state, Minnesota. At least right now. I'm excited for the Midwest Meat Fest. And I'll do Minnesota Smash as well. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we did that. That's done. So what the fuck am we gonna... I don't understand. Maybe I'm stupid or what?
Adventure time.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Off we go. Adventure time.
Maybe I didn't pick it up. Maybe. No.
Don't stand too close to me, or you might get hit by lightning too.
Maybe here?
We go. Adventure time.
So if you guys remember the big bumper stages that he did a bunch of pauses on and like moved to the goal, we're gonna have a 2.0 of that coming up right here. I am gonna fall out. I'm gonna try that again. One. Come on. One more track. I'm really glad I got to show off the first one. They This game and me, man. I really don't understand how they expected you to do this normally. Like, what did they expect most people to do here? Not this. Like, what? They expect you to be omniscient. Yeah.
It always rains when I go on an adventure. Don't stand too close to me, or you might get hit by a...
This stage looks pretty chaotic, and that's because it is. Of course, we're scratch for it. Oh, got a little bit light there. Keep forgetting it every time. I love this new scratches part, actually. There it is. Nice.
Yeah.
I am watching my time flow. I am watching my timer. So one more. If not, then I'll shut off. Okay. You get the idea. Getting enough momentum for that is really tough. It is. You need like pretty much multiple
Have you ever kept these pets? They're very cute.
Let's find shelter quick. Oh, we're not going to make it.
Alright, huge shout out here. First of all, to QDQ, staff, volunteers, not only for the opportunity, but for putting on this amazing event. I helped run marathons myself, and I know you might work hard to do it, especially on a scale like this. So they work really hard, and it's for a great cause. And, of course, we have to remember to shout out Rollout. That is sort of like a fan game
Super Monkey Ball, all difficulties, no extras, wordless run, and the bonus master run. Thank you so much. Got a lot more donations here for Helix. Socks donated $20 and said, had to show support for my good friend Helix and his band of speedy, superb, simians and spheres. Let's get cancer out and let gone in. I also have a donation from Super Matt here in the amount of $15. Says, let's go Helix, Tony, the gang, and I are rooting for you. Proud of you for making it to HDQ. I'll have more messages here for Helix from all of his friends and everyone who was
If we've
reaching
got
out.
nothing else to do, why don't I tell you a story?
Ad break, and we'll be right back.
Banana, I get heartburn in about 5 minutes. But I bet I does it, which is why he loves them so much. So why not try to collect every single banana? I mean, bananas are delicious after all. While doing a bit of research on this video, I discovered that J. Cole on YouTube kind of already did this with Monkey Ball Deluxe. However, his guidelines were very different to what mine are. He was allowed to collect all bananas on multiple attempts. So basically what he was doing was grabbing a few bananas, falling, and then trying again to get the rest. For this video and this challenge, I have to collect every banana on a stage in one go, which has a lot of drastic different So with all that said, let's get started. Starting with level 1, our first level page eloquently describes how this game played. It was quite simple. The bananas are just fighting on the edge of the circle. Next was hollow. It was almost the same level except for this banana bunch just painfully floating in the air. In order to have it, I had to build some speed and angle myself into the right spot, and I managed to get it after a few tries. All bananas got a little tougher. Some might even say bumpy at the stage they implies. There were 2 banana bunches hanging in the air. The first one, I just needed to bounce off some bumps in the ground to get enough height to grab it. The second one was harder because I had to bounce off the bouldering to get it, but I was able to grab the ball in just in time too. Switches was our next stage, and it was pretty darn easy. I thought conveyors would be tricky since you usually need a lot of speed to clear the belts. After getting almost all the bananas, I smacked the wall and carried momentum forward, and I was able to just clear the floaters and get all the bananas. Now the bananas and floaters weren't hard to get. The problem was the time limit. There's 4 bunches on each of the corners, and you can only access them at certain times. My issue was trying to optimize when to grab single bananas and when to grab the bunches while the platform was accessible. After a few attempts, I managed to just barely scrape by with less than a second to spare. Slopes was another fairly easy stage. The bananas were just chilling in the corners. Sliders had very few bananas, but they're perched right on the edge of this corner turn. It took some practice, but you basically have to roll your way right up to the edge to have the bananas hitbox. Once I got used to the timing, it wasn't that bad. Spinning top was immediately threatening because all the bananas are on the edge of, well, the spinning top. I didn't know if I'd be able to get any of them, honestly. I tried standing near the edge of this platform, and the top just kept knocking down the way every single trajectory. I found the perfect spot to stand in, which allows you to get all the bananas in like 3 seconds. 0 bananas run for the bridge, so I just had to clear it. All one was done. And honestly, that wasn't too bad. But I had to finish it pretty soon. Coming right to base, I had no issues at all.
So where is this other one at?
It's not difficult. Hoppers has 2 bananas in the corner at the end, and that's it. And after that, it was Coaster. I'm sure most people remember this level pretty well. Can you recall that there's a group of bananas that are just sitting behind the goal pole? Yeah. While you can collect at least 1 or 2 of these bunches, there's no way you can get all of them in one run. So unfortunately, it is not possible to beat Super Monkey Ball 2 while touching every single banana. We're only just getting started, though. We're going to try out all the stages and see how many can be done.
My nigga,
So next
what?
up is bump check. Going across the corners.
Where the fuck did you get the other thing from?
Small is a stage that looks easier than it actually is. So missing 1 banana seemed like I need to restart. But I tried turning around, grabbed the banana, and then just went back to the goal. Gravity Slider was another level
I don't understand.
until I realized the banana bunches crisscross each other. So after a few tries, I found that by going down the hill slowly.
The hell? No. Okay, so it's obviously not here. Or I missed it. I don't think I missed it.
The second one had 4 bananas, but this time I had to go to the very end. The problem with doing that is the word fold itself back up, and this happened so quickly that I lose complete control of where I am and what I'm doing. I had to try for these bananas probably 30 times before I finally got some lucky bounces that didn't launch me off the stage, but instead
Shoot, I can't afford any more bandages. Take cover!
where the discs will hit you, so you can't really mess this up unless it's intentional. Wrapping up World 2 is alternative, and as long as you keep the stage on the normal speed, it's fairly easy. It's too bad that Coaster had to have all those bananas at the very end, because we'd otherwise be smooth sailing. Our first trek in World 3 was organic.
Yo, what the fuck is... Oh my goodness. Where the fuck do you find this other thing, man? I've been looking at this shit for an hour.
And I had to get all of them in 60 seconds. The only way to do this on time was with a lot of trial and error. Trying to figure out where you needed to be to get each banana and getting them without dying was quite the task. After probably 50 attempts, I got the patterns down and just needed to get to the goal pole with 10 seconds left. I was lucky enough to get inside, but then I missed the goal. The time was only ticking down, and then with less than a second, I managed to beat this stage. And let's keep in mind, this isn't even the hardest stage. You'll understand what I mean in a bit. Stepping Stones has 2 branching paths, both with bananas on each, so I definitely cannot get them all in one go. I did opt to take the harder path because, well, why not? And it contains a banana bunch. And for the heck of it, I tried building speed at the bottom to attempt getting height to reach the other path, but I wasn't even getting close. Maybe a taskbot could somehow complete this stage? I'm not really sure. After 2 tricky stages, Bubbles was a breeze. I just needed to keep moving at a good pace and was able to clear it, albeit I only had 4 seconds when I finished. URL was another easy stage. I just took my time and grabbed the ball. Besides getting launched 80,000 feet in the air, that ring simply required good timing, and the bananas were mine for the taking. And then there was Kirby options. There's 4 different paths, all varying in difficulty, and I had to somehow clear all of them since they all have bananas. The first 2 on the left are simple enough. It's the last 2 where things get stupid. My first strategy was to just go from easiest to hardest. Outside of dying literally hundreds of times, I kept getting down to the very end with only like 5 seconds left. So I knew this was definitely possible, but the time was putting too much pressure on me, therefore making it way easier to die. Let me tell you, the amount of precision you need to go across these paths is ludicrous. So I came up with a new game plan. So let me go ahead and illustrate the route that I have for everyone here. So just pretend that Ai's in a ball, he's not in one, and here's how this is going to work. We're going to roll right in, start the level, bada bing, bada boom, go down the skinniest path, go really, really slowly, not worry about the time. The timer does not exist. We're going to just barely make it across, no problem. We're going to make it across, and then from there, we're going to go to the thickest path, go as fast as humanly possible, zoom, basically do this, basically that, except not falling. And then from there, we're going to this third path. We're going to, again, take our time. It's all good. The timer doesn't matter, but it matters a little bit. Go fast in the straightaway, and then do that little curve, turn around, go to the second path here, and then we want to go all the way down to this point where there's the last banana. At this point, hopefully we'll have enough time to be able to turn around from here and then back into the goal pole. And that is the game plan. This plan seemed doable, but I basically had to do everything perfectly. I could take my time on the skinniest route, but the other 3, I needed to move as fast as I possibly could to even stand a chance at beating this. After another 200 tries, this was my best attempt. That's right, less than a second to spare. Now let's settle down for a second, because with Twister, I managed to get this on my first try. There's just 2 bananas sitting on the edges, and that's all there is to grab. And downhill is fairly simple too. Just follow the path and grab those bananas. Now Junction is another stage where it splits into 2 different paths, and there's absolutely no way you can take both of them. So I went with a harder route since it had slightly more bananas and done. And that's everything from World 3. The difficulty really spiked up a notch, but it's time to travel forward to World 4. Pro Skater has 4 banana bunches, which are extremely hard to get. The problem is that you can't reach them with momentum because the hills on both sides are way too steep. So all you can do here is launch yourself off of the goal poles and pray that you live. To help with the randomness, I got one of the bunches by riding along the side, and I could only get one bunch this way because you can only grab them while you're falling down the hill. After dozens of attempts, I got all the bananas and just needed to hit one of the goals. This was easier said than done because they move at such ridiculous speeds. I tried just passing through them as they came down, but I could not time it correctly. After a failed attempt, I decided to fool around until time ran out, and this happened.
Have you heard any goldfish's pets? They're very cute.
Yeah, that will never, ever, ever, ever happen again. That was stupidly good luck. But moving on, Combs was very easy. And Little Beehive was a bit of a time crunch, but I got it on the first try. Next was Dynamic Maze, and while there were only 10 bananas, getting them all in one go was not looking feasible. What makes this so hard is, of course, the walls constantly moving up and down. With some trial and error, I started to figure out a path that was fairly optimal, but there was always 1 or 2 sections where I just stayed in place for like 5 seconds, and that wasted way too much time. There were a few instances where I got either 9 or 10 bananas, but it didn't matter because there was no time left on the clock and I couldn't make it to the goal. So the best I could do was get all but 1 banana with less than a second to spare. I thought the wall was a little scary because I had to pull back at the right time without falling, but I pulled it off and got those yellow ding-dongs. Launchers was a ridiculous level. Getting the 5 bananas and the green goal is a challenge I don't like remembering. The only way I could do this was to perfectly line myself up with the giant pole as well as stay in a straight line. Something that happens a lot when you get launched is your monkey gets flown off to the side, or it gets pushed away from the pole. So basically, as soon as I got launched, I had to pull back and very carefully weave towards the center and blindly guess where the bananas were. Maybe some people find getting this goal easy, but this was my first time ever doing it. The stages level perfectly describes how it went. Randomizer was completely random. The idea was to launch myself to the top and get the bananas from the top to the bottom floor. How and when you get launched into the air, well, that's anybody's guess. After maybe 30 tries, I bounced my monkey up to the 2nd floor and finally on the 3rd floor without flying off. And what's funny is I've never actually been up here before, so that was pretty neat. So World 4 has been mostly a whirlwind thus far. And then there's coin slots with just 1 banana. You know, it's really funny how drastically the difficulty jumps per stage. And you basically just play Seesaw Bridge since all the bananas are just there on your path. And this is the shocker of the year. I completed Arthropod on the first try. There were 2 bananas to get on the sides, and then I just had to wait for the goal to pop up. This stage usually takes me about 10 tries on average, so I'm surprised I got it so quickly. Let's hope this good fortune continues on into World 5. Wormhole was pretty simple, and I also discovered this banana bunch that was behind this teleporter. I didn't even know that was a thing. Freefall just happened to have 1 banana bunch, and it's floating in the freaking air. That means I needed to not only grab it, but also hit the goal pole as I'm falling down. And of course, I can only reach the hardest one. There were a couple attempts where I got the bananas, hit the ground a few times, and then fell, which was just painful to see. But eventually, I figured out the right speed and the right angle to go at and was able to complete this level. Melting Pot had 1 banana bunch to get, but it was in the most awkward spot. I kept peeling left and I was just going too fast or too far. After about 30 or 40 tries, I finally got the bananas and finished up. That shuffle was painless, and following that was Beat Screen, which was also a cakewalk. Jump Machine wasn't really hard per se, it was more annoying than anything. There were some banana bunches to get on each platform, and what wasted a lot of time was missing the banana and getting thrown 50 feet in the air.
God damn it, where the fuck is this last piece? Oh my gosh!
But after a while, I managed to finish the level. Zigzag slope had
Damn.
slopes that were quite steep. I hope you liked my fancy little alliteration.
Okay.
But anyway,
Killing the enemies around me. Okay.
Precisely to get all the bananas. Tower has a banana bunch in the middle to grab.
After this, the world
Fluctuation is a great word to explain how
next part of the quest to find a missing piece of the war and get it working.
Banana placements. There's 3 rows. What you have to do is bounce from one tiny cube to the next tiny cube and collect them. And keep in mind, you have to get the whole row without a single mistake because the time limit is so short. It was incredibly easy to mess up the speed and the angle. And honestly, I was raging by the end of this. And what's worse, there's no feasible way to get all these bananas. I got the first 2 rows by
ain't shit here, dog.
miracle, but there's just not enough time to get the last row of bananas. I mean, perhaps I could optimize my route better, but I don't think so.
Ain't shit here. It's not here. What the
Moving on to World 6, combination has one banana.
Oh my god. What the fuck is going on, man? It's not here. Fuck. What's going on? Is the game broken?
You just have to circle around the top staircase and you're good to go.
Let me exit out,
Hard to see the bananas in Brandon's shed, but they're basically just
damn, what the fuck is going on? I did this already. Came here 3 times.
The only good thing to say about this level
Why the fuck is it not here? Why is it not here?
but that means I have to take the
Shit broke, dog.
which has the skinniest curve I've ever seen. And worse, it's also slanted, making this nearly impossible to complete. The only method I found that worked was to use something called pause buffering. A lot of speedrunners use pause buffering to implement hard tricks. Basically how it works is when you pause, you're able to more quickly change your inputs. So after tons and tons of attempts and lots of pause buffering, I slowly but surely made my way to the end and miraculously scraped by to the bananas. Glitch was an incredibly easy level, and I thought I'd have more trouble with narrow peaks, but as it turns out, I completed this on my first try.
The hero approached the vile dragon's liquid lair. Time to act.
But I usually don't take the harder path. It took about 5 tries to complete Detour. I just needed one to jump off the ramp. Switch it
Time to act.
and I thought boulders would be kind of hard, but it really wasn't. I simply ran forward for the first 2 bananas, then moved over to the sidelines and just timed out getting it. I got it designed, but and that's it for World 6. We had a strong start to Scarlet Bridge, since like a lot of levels, I was just playing on the river. Maybe options might look familiar. It's basically Kirby options, but much, much easier. And I only needed to take 3 of the 4 paths instead of all of them, which was icing on the cake. The hardest part of the stage was aligning myself to take the skinny path. It was like this weird illusion. It almost looked like I was lined up correctly, but was actually too far to the right. After loads of attempts, though, I finally lined up properly, and while I came close to falling, I managed to get across. After that, I fully scurried across to the other path, but it honestly wasn't that bad. This took way less time than Kirby.
It's not here.
So that's all I did back. After that was a crazy stupid level.
My family lives on the shores that will
At this point, I just don't understand. It's not letting me. It say it's right here, but it's not here. Yo, what? Is it here or not?
I didn't think I could do this, but I went ahead and tried anyway. I started by getting the bunches on the top, and I kept falling over and over. But after some tries, I discovered you can get the bananas a little early, which gives me time to find the bottom platform and survive. So after that, I had to do the same thing for the other banana bunch, and just finish the stage. I'm pretty surprised you can do this one. I'm not gonna lie. And Hierarchy isn't too bad to complete, unlike 8 bracelets.
Interact with the
This is already a
electromagnet.
hard stage,
Here's a
and there
dome
just so happens to be
to walk
2
through it.
banana
Interact
bunches
with
on
the
the
center
opposite
going purple,
sides. What that
and then
means
with the
is I
center.
have to maintain insanely good momentum without making any mistakes, or I lose my speed.
There is literally nothing here. I looked up multiple times, and there is nothing here. Literally nothing. So, at this point in time, I don't know what to do. I can't even beat the fucking game. I am very disappointed.
Shooting into the air. Thank God there's spaces I can stand on while it's happening. With some
Let's go
practice, I was
ask
able to clear this one. And Soft Cream
these
was also
people
pretty easy.
here.
The bananas were chilling at the end of the stage. Momentum has always been a very annoying stage to me, simply because you're given so little wiggle room to swap between the platforms. And I had to go through this 3 times instead of just one to ensure I could get all the bananas. It took dozens of attempts, but I eventually got all the bananas here. Entangled Path was really simple, and I thought Totters would be as well. This one surprisingly took about 20 attempts, because the platforms were really hard to navigate, so I had to keep trying different angles until I found a way to get all the bananas without falling. For Vortex, I just needed to make sure that I was reaching the top platform before initially dropping below for the rest of the bananas. And my god, Vort was freaking miserable. I knew it was gonna suck because there's bananas in between bumpers on a platform that is tilted. The first two segments went okay, it was the third one that's evil. I basically needed to get all the bananas in one fell swoop, while also not hitting the bumpers. This is a lot easier said than done, because the bananas are so close to the bumpers, and your movement has to be extremely precise. There were a lot of attempts here where I would get all the bananas, but then fall afterwards because the stage itself is just a nightmare. But centuries later, after, 100 tries, I managed to finish the level. And thank God the rest of World 8 was a breeze. These include trampolines, swing shaft, and linear seesaws. And with that, we're on to World 9. The serial jump is a pretty scary one, considering I have to cut through this work. Couple games, freshman T.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Leo tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share memory?
Hey everyone, I've got some exciting news. Bam! Check it out! In less than 4 months of my computer career, I earned all my Microsoft certifications from home. With working a full-time job, I never thought I'd have the time to go back to school. But classes are only twice a week. Literally, this is hands down.
Okay, unlike Bandblitz, deaths are really, that's really better in this game, because he has to not continue in order to get to the extra stages, and then not continue there either in order to get to the master stages.
So far, so good. So you'll see on these bonus floors coming up that he's going to collect the bananas.
Banana. Yes, so he really needs extra lives in case something goes wrong. Because, they don't matter in my run. It's like, if you die, whatever, but this game...
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those
this is one of the games where you appreciate how hard the game is once you've played it.
Yes!
Very nice. Because the controls in this game are really, really difficult to master. Nice. So that's one of the hardest floors, even though it's so early on.
If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
Is they really?
Yeah.
I'm
This
stuck.
game requires a lot of concentration. It's really difficult to get through, so we're not going to be talking much. Sometimes you just won't bounce and you die.
Get collecting bananas here. Once he gets on bananas, he'll get an extra life.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share memory?
Hey guys, 3 days. First of all,
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
Guess I'm done with Genshin. This shit broke as hell. Ain't no motherfucker responding. Like, damn, nobody can help me out. Fuck y'all niggas, man.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Leo tend to stay away. So it is where many things come to settle.
I just don't get this shit. How far do I have to spawn? Oh wait, we just spawn all the way to Mondstadt, man. We spawn as far away back as possible. Let's see what. We spawn all the way to Dragon Spawn.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
Ain't no way this shit 30 seconds, man. What's up? What's up? Hold on. Oh, man.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Lior tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where...